had the perfect job. I was living in Manhattan. I was working on a huge brand, and I was being taken out to the most extraordinary restaurants by reps. I was even meeting members of NSYNC, literally the first concert I went to when I was a kid, like my heroes. And I had everything that most people in their early 20s would have given anything for. My friends and family were proud of me, and anyone else in my shoes maybe would have been very happy. However, I was waking up every morning with a searing headache. I felt like something was really wrong, but I didn't think there was something wrong with my situation. I felt like there was something wrong with me. And so, even though I had all of the external accessories of success and happiness and doing really well, the truth was on the inside, I felt like a worthless piece of you know what. I felt like an imposter. I felt like I was completely off purpose, and I didn't know why. I didn't know why. And it wasn't until I looked up after having lived in the apartment that I was living in for a little over a year, and I discovered that at the bottom of my apartment building there was a yoga studio. And I remembered hearing somewhere that doing yoga helps you feel peaceful, it helps you feel better in your body, it brings health and relaxation. And I wanted those things so badly. Because at this point, I'm feeling pain in my joints, I'm getting migraines often, I feel horrible in my body, and I feel completely codependent and unhappy in the relationship that I was in. And so I decided to go in the studio. And despite all of the success I had on the outside, the truth was I was also not doing super well financially, mostly because living in Manhattan, if you live there, then you know it takes a lot more money than the typical $40,000 straight out of college salary to do well there and to be thriving and successful. So I walk into the studio and they say, okay, we have a 7-day pass for $30, super easy. And even then I was like, oh my gosh, $30? That's a lot of money. But there was a voice in my head that said, you must do this. And even though I felt like I couldn't afford $30, based on the numbers, based on the math, I couldn't afford $30 for membership, I said, okay, I'm going to do this. Within the first few days of going to the studio and being on my mat and practicing, I started to have truth revealed to me. I started to hear the voice of wisdom. I would be in my Shavasana at the end of practice, my final resting pose, get up for a moment to be in my body and be with my breath, and I heard wisdom. I heard that I was not, in fact, where I was supposed to be. And I heard with the truth of a bell that came from such a deep, strong place that I was meant to be a marine mammal biologist. What? That doesn't make any sense. But that's what the voice gave me. And without telling you the whole expanse of the majority of my career, what I will tell you was that voice guided me every step of the way to where I am now. To my beach house, to my man, to my success, and to the beautiful dharmic life that I'm experiencing, my clients that I'm experiencing now. But how did I get to that voice? And how did I learn to trust a voice that actually made pretty much no sense? To anyone else, it would have made no sense. And indeed, my friends and family nearly abandoned me. My family did abandon me for a moment when I told them that I was going to quit my job in corporate, which, by the way, I didn't end up having to do because I got fired. Thanks, universe. And go and pursue my passion for marine mammal biology, which ultimately guided me and led me to spirituality, manifesting, entrepreneurship, and a whole way of being in the world. How did that happen? What happened was I accessed a deeper faith that allowed me to make what some would consider a risky decision in order to go for this thing that my body wisdom told me with so much conviction. How did I access that faith? And how do you trust at such a deep level that you're going to be okay, even when the choice in front of you seems potentially detrimental to your safety and security and stability? How do you know that you're going to be okay? The way that I knew that I was going to be okay was by accessing the energy parts of me that governed safety, stability, and security to tell the universe that I desired feeling safe and stable and secure throughout a graceful transition in my career. And that's exactly what happened. I will tell you now, I accessed my root chakra in order to create safety, stability, and security. I accessed my sacral chakra, which governs transition, flow, and ease through difficult, challenging times. And ultimately, that's exactly what was created for me. And over the course of time, the universe and I co-created together a really beautiful trajectory that step by step allowed me to build up to where I am now and onward and way into a future that I still know nothing about. And it's better that way because the universe knows better than I do. So how do you trust? Well, the way that you trust is through a 3-step plan. And I discovered this because this is actually what I did, and it's what I teach my clients now. It's the 3 pillars of successful manifesting. And I want to tell you all about it, not just on this video, but in a one-on-one conversation today. Today is the only opportunity to speak with me because starting next week, I'm moving on to another project, and these phone calls with me will be over. So if you're curious to know how to do your 3-step plan to access how you can co-create your destiny, your success with the universe without feeling the sense of lack in safety, stability, and security, and in order to move forward with a graceful transition, I want to invite you on a call with me today. And I would love to help you in a complimentary 20 to 30 minute session with me to create your abundance plan for the rest of your life. I'm so excited to speak with you. Have an amazing day and talk to you soon. Namaste.